Hello, Warriors. Dale Pinkert here. Want to invite everyone to join us here on TradeGateHub.com, and might be worth your while. Especially, I was going to start off with the end, but I'm going to go ahead and cover oil, because when I was with you Monday, I was talking about top picking it up here. My entries weren't so great on Sunday night, but it worked for a trade. And then my entries weren't so great here either, but it worked for a trade, about 80 pips, both of these. And then I covered them here and put them out. My best sale was yesterday. You could go to the main chat, check it out. That's where I post outside of live streaming sessions. So you may want to drop in and scroll up and down to see what Mike and I and the other traders are posting there. Might give you an idea that you don't have yourself. In fact, that's the beauty of a community, is each of us only has two eyes, and you put together some talented, skillful people in the markets, and you'd be surprised how you could improve, because you're masterminding with other people. So crude is trying to reverse a decent pullback from didn't quite make a new high on this push. If it had, it wouldn't have confirmed. So, I just had one of my mentees ask me, well, Dale, more downside, or are we going to rally? So, you know what? I don't know. I mean, I could make the case for either, because we did have a confirmed high here. And this high, it would have been more bearish if we had taken out this high before this decline began. So, based upon my rules, a new high is not out of question. So I told him to take half. So, if he took the last suggestion at 83.66, even though we're not at today's lows, there's 220 there. And he can just put his buy stop at break even, right? Just in case it keeps running down towards 79. This would be another area I'd be thinking about covering. Whether we make a new high or not, I still think we're, either our beginning or there's one more hurrah in crude. Either way, you probe and protect, and just probing it, even though it's a bull market, did okay being a contrarian in crude this week. So we'll see how we finish. A couple of days left on the week. The 2-week off number, that'll be my signal for whether or not we have a reversal or not. And that's down at 79.50. So we haven't achieved that level, but if we close under 79.50, that'd be about here by Friday. That would be your first 2-week reversal in a while. And that would portend 75 to me, this low. And if we get down to 75 and test it, even though we might bounce, I think that we'll head down towards 70 to 71 before it's done. I want to talk about something that is pretty important. The yen has been on a pretty good bull run, especially once we broke out of this 3 drive at 112. But I just want you to take notice that this last high we had in yen did not confirm, and that's on the 4-hour, and that's on the 2-hour. So even your shortest term, except for your 15-minute, we did have a confirmed high here. My point being that it's getting a little heavy, and I still have higher targets, but we could correct before that happens. I'd be a real interested buyer at 1250, 1260. If we get back through this 1370 mark, I think that's viable. My longer term targets in the 116.5 level. So if we broke a couple hundred pips from here and then recovered just arithmetically, 1250 to 1450 plus 200 will give you 1650. But I did want to show that momentum is beginning to wane in the yen, and that kind of ties in with what's happening here in the 10-year as well. Look at the 10-year. So the 10-year maybe not as bearish on the 2. Let's take a look at the 4. You could kind of see a 3 drive here. I talked about 168 earlier in the week. Maybe you could see, yeah. I mean, this could be your 1 and your 2 and your 3 right here. So I think both yields, short term, and yen, short term, even if they both make one more high, they're not going to confirm, and we're getting close to, what would be a short-term top. Okay. I like that euro is outperforming the pound today. Early in the week down here on Monday, I said, looks like 117 is viable for the euro. I like that it's outperforming the pound today. EG, I know a lot of people are talking 83, 82, but you have to admit we are diverging down here. This wasn't a new low, but the RSI is looking pretty good. So I now favor, if you're going to play the short side of the dollar, I now favor euro over cable. Cable is outperformed. That's why EG has been doing this, but looks like we have a potential double bottom here. The dollar, I'm not impressed. It tried to rally. I had this blue line drawn. We had the breakout. Up here, I said I thought we would test it, and that's exactly what happened. I'm not impressed with the bounce. And in fact, it's a little too pat for me that we just, went to the breakout and held it. It wasn't a great candle where we held it either, just held it here. And we've had a little bounce back to prior lows. And I think we're going to take out this 93.50 breakout, maybe take it down to 93. That would be the next stop if we got through 3.5. And I think that could give us a 117 to 117.50 euro. 117.50 euro would change the picture in the dollar. Just like, beginning to close under 93 in the Dixie would change the picture. Every time I look at gold being higher, I keep thinking, I missed it. But, the gold still has not taken out the high from last week. Almost looks like it's a little ABC, and that we could still test the 1730, 1740 level. The silver has been a monster in comparison. So I'm going to key a silver buy since it's way outperforming. Look, here's your gold silver ratio. It's really come under pressure since it's high at 80. It may bounce a little bit, but it looks to me like we're resuming the downtrend, and it is one hell of a downtrend and a pretty weak bounce. So we might be headed all the way down to this lower line. I think I've talked about it, that earlier in my commodity career, you would see the gold silver ratio trade at 40 was, kind of a median for the gold silver ratio. This line would take it down into the low 50s. So silver is a preferred long if we could get one more break. I'm not looking for anything huge or new lows anymore. Let me just pop this up. So I'm thinking we've had a $2.50 rally in silver, a little over that. So 2.5, 150 from here would give you about 22.5. This would be a good zone. I'd be looking at 22.5 to 22 and say that this low is, where you would have your stop under this flash crash low, which is analogous to the flash crash low you had in gold down here. And we're putting in higher lows. And even if gold pulled back towards 1740 or so, it would still be its third higher low. This is its first after this. So I'm looking for this to correct to 1740. And the next time through 1800, I think we're on our way to 1840 and over 1840. I don't know what's going to stop it. We got to break out of this triangle, and this will probably happen after the yen has peaked. Why can't we go for new highs on the move in the gold from this triangle? So If it was going to measure 1500 to the downside, because it's a 400-point formation, why can't we go 2200, which would be 400 above the 1838 level? Okay. S&Ps, you know, we're almost at new highs. This one I got right. Talked about the turn down here when I covered NASDAQ positions down here. Thought maybe I was going to miss it again, but now it looks like new highs. NASDAQ's underperforming. Just a couple of things that I'd pay attention to, and you know, we could be at new highs by December. Or, you know, in the S&Ps, we're only one good day away. I'm thinking 4640 in S&Ps and 15.8. 16,000 in NASDAQ. But I look at a stock like Apple and, you know, I'm going to be stalking this. I want to see what happens. A lot of people say, well, we might be getting a head and shoulders top. You know, we had this rising wedge here, okay, which it broke down from. And this was a pretty good call, you know, and it held 140. So I'm going to be real interested in what Apple does when NASDAQ's making a new high. My gut is saying that, you know, we may retest the high, because sometimes you could have these wedge lines that it breaks down from and then have it return to kiss it. So I think Apple will not confirm the high. If when NASDAQ 100 makes a new high, here's another one that I don't think will. Amazon. Maybe we'll get up to like 3,600 or so and fill the gap from the earnings, you know, and then I'd look for, you know, potential shorting opportunity wrong over the high. And this was a pretty big break, 3,200 from, what's this high? 30, so call it 500. So, you know, 500-point break that we had in Amazon. So from here, it could take it down to 2,800, which would be, you know, back down here under the breakdown. So looking for shorts in Amazon as well. I don't think we're going to get a new high in Amazon. And you would think, wow, how can you? We're going into Christmas and, you know, online sales that time of year. I think that some of the supply constraints are going to have a negative impact on Amazon. Also, there's a lot of negative press about how Amazon's using their software to promote their products over their resellers. Anyway, there'll be some heat on Bezos. So I'd be a seller or buyer of puts up into the gap area in Amazon. So I know a lot of people are participating with what the yen did in carry trade. So a buddy of mine is long a couple of these. Here's a euro yen right now. You know, it's done nothing wrong. We've had one bad candle here. We are beginning to diverge on the euro yen, but I actually think the euro yen will outperform the guppy now. Guppy, you see pretty good divergence, and it's based upon weekly. You know, I would basically be looking to sell them both and look to buy pullbacks in both of them. You know, euro yen could be peaking here, and you know, we could get a pullback to, that's been one heck of a run. You know, maybe back to 132, maybe in prior highs 131, especially if I'm right about the yen after maybe one more high pulling back. Guppy, same scenario. The difference between the two is when you go the weekly and you look at the guppy, you see this, we've taken out the high. So this was a little bit of a divergent high here compared to the prior one. But look, we blew through these highs and the weekly is not confirming. Okay, so to me, that's at least a warning sign of, you know, I should be, you know, raising cash. Doesn't mean it's the exact top, but it's not confirming. And then you look at euro yen, which, you know, all the way up because of cable outperforming euro as expressed through EG, which I'm not looking for a turn in, euro yen has not taken out this high. So based upon, what I use, confirmed highs, I still think that euro yen, even if we get a pullback here, will still take out the highs while the guppy is diverging and not acting as good. So I think that going forward, whether they both go up or down, euro yen's going to begin to catch up and outperform guppy. I'd like to open it up to people here in the trade room. Any questions for me before I wrap things up? I have next an interview tomorrow with Grega Horvat. I first met Grega when I was facilitating and hosting LAR on FX Street. That was the live analysis room. And I had to interview all the people who won the best ofs for that year. And Greg Horvat, a few years running, won awards for best. I'm not sure if it was buy side or sell side analysis. He's an Elliottician. I call him the wizard of waves. So tune in tomorrow for some of Grega's wave counts that, will give you some food for thought. Moving forward in these markets. I know he thinks, I saw a chart that there's still new highs to come in the Dow, and it's going to be a 5. So that interests me. Hope it interests you. Just one quick last look in the crude. Yeah, still trying to fight its way back. But just because we have a reversal candle developing, you don't know it till it closes. Don't anticipate candle closes. I've done that enough for all of us. So come hang out with us in TradeGate Hub. Become better. Help us become better. Iron sharpens iron, right? And if you like what we're doing, give us a little thumbs up on the video here and subscribe. And, I'll teach you what I know. I can't guarantee you profits, but I can guarantee you that you'll have tools that you'll use the rest of your trading career. When I'm retired on some tropical island, you'll go, I remember Coach talking about that confirmed high, or, the correlation between the yen and yield. So I'm here to teach. Michael's here to, show what he does to pull equity out of the market. And we have other guys posting. Okay, many guys posting. So become part of something bigger than yourself. And I have an expression in this business. It's easy to, just be by yourself and your little igloo or bomb shelter and trade. But I say this: don't isolate, collaborate. And don't just count your pips, count your blessings. I'll see everyone tomorrow with our special guest, Grega Horvat. Adios. Good hunting.